This video is brought to you by Monster Train 2, available now on Steam, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox Series X and S.
Oh, it's you.
You know her?
It's been a long time. How have you been? I've been really busy being dead. You know, after you murdered me.
You did what?
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at direct sequels that managed to surpass their already impressive originals.
What the hell? I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
But before we dive in, we publish new content all week long. So be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Titanfall II.
Just like before.
Not exactly. There are significantly more variables to throwing between two moving platforms. Good luck.
Although it famously had a terrible launch due to being sandwiched between a Battlefield and Call of Duty release, Titanfall 2 has since received a ton of love. And it's considered by many to be one of the best first-person shooters of the last decade. Since the original game didn't have a single-player mode, it's easy to call this a definite improvement. It doesn't hurt that the story of Titanfall 2 is an absolute blast. One with fantastic combat, engaging level design, and a playtime that never outstays its welcome. Multiplayer was also refined with enhanced gameplay and modes, including a PvE spin on tower defense that I, personally, poured hours into. When it comes to shooters, Titanfall 2 is one of the genuine greats.
I will not lose another pilot. Brace for impact.
Titans have seized heaven. Now, former angels and demons must unite and fight in this sequel to the critically acclaimed Monster Train, a thrilling roguelike deck builder. Command 5 distinct new clans, each with their own powerful abilities to master in run after run. Defend your pyre across 3 intense vertical levels against dangerous new foes, knowing each journey offers fresh challenges. Unleash strategic advantages with powerful room cards and equip your units for devastating impact as you build your ultimate deck. Explore the Covenant Outpost, unlock game-changing pyre hearts to customize each run, and conquer handcrafted dimensional challenges for exclusive cosmetic rewards. Customize your train's look and track your legendary runs with the enhanced logbook. Push your skills to the limit in endless mode and tackle fresh daily challenges to dominate global leaderboards. Monster Train 2 is available now on Steam, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox Series X and S.
Pokemon Gold and Silver. The original Pokemon games were simple yet addictive masterpieces that captivated every child with a Game Boy. So, it says a lot that Gold and Silver for the Game Boy Color were, without a doubt, better games. It wasn't just that these adventures were now in color, though that certainly helped them pop. There were 100 new creatures to track down, collect, and train, which was a wonderful novelty at this point. There were also a few quality-of-life inclusions like an internal clock, as well as some new mechanics that perfected the central formula. The story and mysteries were grander, as was the scope, especially when we got to revisit the previous region and face off against our former selves as a secret final boss. Borderlands II.
It's cute that y'all think you're the heroes of this little adventure, but you're not. Welcome to Pandora, kiddos.
The first Borderlands popularized the looter-shooter format, while also including great cel-shaded visuals and an infectious sense of humor that earned it a sizable fan base. However, we find it hard to recommend going back to play when Borderlands 2 exists. Everything about this sequel was a noticeable step up. First and foremost, the villain, Handsome Jack, remains one of gaming's most charismatic baddies.
Oh, hey, you're in the preserve. I was gonna do this whole thing where I'd lure you in here and kill you, but you just kind of showed up. Thanks for saving me the trouble, kiddo.
Character class customization was also improved across the board, which gave the game a significant pool of replayability. With so many different weapons and upgrades to track down, and so many wild and wacky characters to interact with, good and bad, Borderlands 2 just brings so much joy. It's no wonder many fans still consider it the peak of the series.
Double rainbow all the way.
Assassin's Creed II.
Insieme per la vittoria! Insieme! Insieme! Silenzio, my friends! Silenzio!
Despite how things have gone up and down with the series over the years, you'd be hard-pressed to find an Assassin's Creed fan that doesn't adore the second entry. There are so many elements that this game nailed. The historical focus on Italian Renaissance, the superior parkour, stealth, and combat mechanics, and the characterization of its lead, Ezio, that helped cement him as one of the franchise's best protagonists. Everything about this game blew the minds of players back in 2009. That's not to say that the first game wasn't good, because it definitely was, but in comparison with how much Ubisoft improved upon what AC1 did, it really doesn't hold a candle to this.
Compio questo sacrificio per il bene superiore. Requiescat in pace.
Half-Life 2.
The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. So wake up, Mr. Freeman. Wake up and smell the ashes.
Half-Life was an undeniable huge step forward in first-person shooters, from both a gameplay and storytelling perspective. But every player in the world, even if they've never experienced it, knows how important and well-respected the sequel is. Half-Life 2 did more than just expand and improve on what the original did. It influenced the entire genre, with supportive characters that are still cherished today, and physics-based gameplay that is endlessly enjoyable. There was nothing quite like picking up your first gravity gun, just one of the many standout moments in the campaign. There's a very good reason fans never stopped asking for Half-Life 3, because how could you not want more of this?
Rather than offer you the illusion of free choice, I will take the liberty of choosing for you.
God of War 2.
Do you see, gods of Olympus? Do you need more proof than this?
The original God of War was but a mere taste of Sony's dark, bloody take on Greek mythology. It's still one of the best games on the PS2, but while it was zoomed in on Kratos' quest for vengeance against Ares, the sequel pulled back to flesh out the rest of the world, and was all the better for it. It gave more life to the wider pantheon and mythos, and it was interesting to see how key Greek figures were adapted. Plus, it played better too. Level design was stronger, and Kratos' arsenal and combat mechanics allowed for more variety, which was also seen in its boss fights. There was a lot to love in the first God of War, and somehow even more in its sequel.
Zeus, your son has returned! I bring the destruction of Olympus!
Silent Hill 2.
Mary, could you really be in this town?
Ask anyone what the best Silent Hill game is, and they're likely to say the second. One could easily point towards the graphical leap from the first PlayStation to the PS2 as to why it's better than the original, but there's a lot more to it than that. Silent Hill 2 is a once-in-a-lifetime type of horror game. The story of James Sunderland, beckoned to the haunted town by a letter from his deceased wife, is eerie, heartbreaking, and fascinating all at once. And the trauma it explores of both him and supporting characters, primarily through horrific creature design, keeps players delving into the shadows and exploring, even when it feels like you shouldn't.
The truth is, I hated you. I wanted you out of the way. I wanted my life back.
Super Smash Bros. Melee. The Nintendo 64 had a lot of great multiplayer games, including the origin of Super Smash Bros. While it was an incredibly fun and novel concept, there's simply no comparing it to the glory that came next. Melee is still considered one of the best fighting games of all time all these years later, so impressive was the leap between the two games. The roster, mechanics, stages, modes, and items all expanded in such incredible ways. There were few GameCube titles that were as easy to sink hours upon hours into as this one. Whether you played alone, honing your skills, or with friends in some of the tensest, quick-paced battles in fighting history, Melee was a must-have experience for Nintendo fans. Portal 2.
Ah! Oh, God. You look... good. Looking good, actually.
Portal was puzzle playing perfection, and the fact that Valve managed to improve upon that perfection will never cease to be impressive. The team took the invigorating joy of overcoming an inventive obstacle course and made it even better. This was done subtly through clever level and trap design, but it was also done through its story and characters. Ellen McLean's GLaDOS was just as murderous and monotone as she was in the first, making for another extremely likable portrayal. But the additions of Stephen Merchant's bumbling Wheatley...
Ah! Oh, for God's... They told me that if I ever turned this flashlight on, I would die. They told me that about everything. I mean, I don't even know why they bothered giving me this stuff if they didn't want me to use it. It's pointless.
And J.K. Simmons as Cave Johnson, Aperture's insane founder heard through audio logs, are both highly entertaining.
The bean counters told me we literally could not afford to buy $7 worth of moon rocks, much less 70 million. Bought them anyway, ground them up, mixed them into a gel. And guess what? Ground up moon rocks are pure poison. I am deathly ill.
That's just the single-player mode. There's also co-op with even more new puzzles, all of which are delightful to solve.
I warned you. Mission abort. Retreat. Oh God, we've lost. It's over. Oh, that was close.
Uncharted 2, Among Thieves.
I thought you'd want to be in on the action.
So what's the plan?
Like an Indiana Jones for a new generation, the first Uncharted enticed the explorer in all of us. Likewise, Nathan Drake became one of gaming's most likable heroes, but it was Drake's second outing that truly proved this was a franchise without equal. The historical mystery at its core, following in the footsteps of a doomed Marco Polo voyage, was far grander and absorbing. The game's set pieces were drenched in suspense and excitement. The characters, new and old, were all enjoyable to watch thanks to strong performances and writing.
I'm sorry, am I sensing some history here?
Oh, Elena Fisher. Last year's model.
That's cute.
And everything was held within tremendous level design and art direction. Along with some surprisingly great multiplayer, this was a package that far surpassed its predecessor, and remains a phenomenal experience. Of course, there are plenty of other video game sequels that improve upon excellent foundation.
Hey girl, what stallion? Say hello. Yeah.
This video is brought to you by Monster Train 2, available now on Steam, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox Series X and S.